God, you call me by my name. The love you give me, I just can't deny. Yeah. No longer blinded, I can see you. I'm on my way to meet you. We gotta talk, you know.
Please subscribe. Please. Please.
I am not gonna lie to you, burnout is so real. Like it's happening to everybody. Why is everybody burnt out? Like, especially me, for example. I've been feeling burnt out for months. It just feels like I'm tired. I'm just tired of everything. I was watching this sermon by Al Sharpton, Reverend Al Sharpton. Not gonna lie, he was going in whilst he was preaching. Basically saying that nowadays, as human beings, we get so caught up with technology, AI, all of these things that are going on in our day-to-day life, TikTok, Instagram, social media. We get so caught up with that. Whereas back in the old days, people used to go to church all the time. People were all they just weren't so distracted by things. Like he was talking about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. All of those guys did what they did without having any social media or any phones, X, Y, and Z. And it's just saying like how today everybody's just so caught up with everything going on in their life, they just forget about God. And the reason why a lot of people get to that point where they're burnt out is mainly because they just forget about God in the moment that they are in. Like they're so focused on the life that they got going on, the life that they got planned. Everybody is just forgetting about God. Everybody's not including God. And one thing he said, one thing Reverend Al Sharpton said was that sometimes, sometimes God will get you to a point where you have no choice but to get on your knees and pray, where you have no choice to sit down and listen to some gospel music, where you have no choice to just sit there and pray to him. Because God will get you through all of those moments. Or let me rephrase that. God will take you through all of those moments or allow you to go through all of those moments and then get you to a point where you actually talk to him because you've not acknowledged him that much to a point where you have no choice but to go to him. And sometimes it gets like that, and it's kind of bad, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes we forget that we serve a jealous God. Like, when we invest too much time into other things other than reading our Bible or praying to Him. This one person said that the teacher stays silent in a test, and a lot of the times we don't know that God is even testing us, and we forget that this whole life is a test. This whole life is pretty much an examination. It's like all the signs are around us, all the signs are in the Bible into what we need to do with our life, and we just choose to go by what social media tells us or by what TikTok or Instagram tells us. Like, nobody is going to the source, nobody is going to the root of everything, and that's the problem. That's the reason to why a lot of people burn out nowadays, because everybody thinks, okay, I've got to make sure I have this by 2026, got to make sure I can get a house at this time, got to make sure I move out at this time. And it's like, you can't operate life like that. Like, you've got to realize like how a lot of people in the Bible were able to get to where they needed to be and got through what they got through. They had God. They were looking towards God, and they didn't have all these social media things and all this TikTok, Instagram. They didn't have none of this. So especially with us, I just feel like we've gotten to a point where we're way too privileged with the way society is, and we forget who we need to be calling upon. And it's destroying a lot of us, unfortunately. But yeah.